Hi class, I wanted to get you guys prepared for the beginning of the novel tomorrow by giving you some background knowledge on Lord of the Flies. So let's start with William Golding, the author of the novel. He was born in 1911 and his parents wanted him to become a scientist, but like me, he became an English major. Woo! Later, he joined the Navy and worked his way up to lieutenant. He was involved with D-Day, and war taught him about the evil that humans were capable of. This became a huge theme in his novels, and as you already know, authors write about their experiences. He wrote this novel in 1954, and sadly he died in 1993. So, Lord of the Flies. It's not your simple adventure story. It is about boys who are stranded on an island, and there are test societies that are formed where humans are out of their normal situations. This tends to show characteristics of characters because we find out if people are good or bad. That being said, the book is mainly about analyzing human nature and the essential question, are humans innately good or evil? This novel is loaded with symbolism, and on the screen there's just a few of the objects and things in the book that symbolize something. And while we read, I just want you to ask yourself, what could this maybe represent? Because most likely it represents something. We will have a ton of discussion about this later, but I just wanted to let you know that there's a ton of symbolism in Lord of the Flies. The first chapter doesn't really explain what's going on, so I wanted to give you some background. Because there's this devastating war going on in England at the beginning of the book, children are being exported so that there are some British survivors. While on the plane, it crashes and all the young boys end up on a tropical island together with no adults surviving. And as these boys become aware of their surroundings, they have to learn how to react to this newfound freedom. Golding wants to explore how they respond to the stress, change, and tension. And he basically paints a picture of the human struggle. Should humans obey rules or behave morally and act lawfully? Or should they act selfishly, scorn moral rules, and indulge in violence? This is a big question in the novel, and I want you to think about that as we read. The civilizing instinct versus the savage instinct. So there are a lot of themes, which is the last thing I want to talk to you about. The most obvious of the themes are that there is a great need for construct of civilization. So later on in the novel, I hope you'll see why rules, policemen, and schools are necessary to keep the darker side of human nature in line. I don't want to give away anything else right now, but let's just say school, rules, and law are good. The next theme I want to mention is the evil that's within man himself. We'll discuss why evil is present in man throughout the novel. And then, lastly, I want to talk about how there is going to be a lot of talk about the fear of unknown. This is another theme that revolves around the terror within the boys in the novel, and they will have to fight against these feelings throughout the novel, and later you'll see why. So, I hope this helps you with the first chapter as we begin tomorrow. Happy reading, and do not forget to follow up with the activities in Google Classroom. Have a good night.